Okay. So Virtual Security Center, VSC, I'll call it for short, is software that runs a security program. So if you're familiar with management systems like and ISO standards like ISO 9001, 27001 is the standard for security programs. There's 14001. There's a bunch of these different management system standards, right? And that ISO puts together. ISO 27001 talks about an information security management system. And if you think about what we're doing with Virtual Security Center, basically what we're doing is we're trying to help an organization to build their management system for security. And so that's what it does. So key components that we'll see are policies, procedures, risk analysis, compliance reporting, training, and awareness. That's all just kind of rolled in together in Virtual Security Center. There are 3 different types of users, and I'm only going to demonstrate 2 of them today. The third one is the email-only user, and since I'm logging into the website, I'll just show you the website side of it, but I'll talk to you about what the email-only users are. Basically, once we created the software and we started setting it up with customers, we recognized pretty quickly that there are a fair number of people at any organization that really just don't need another piece of software to run, and they don't want it and they don't need it. And so what we recognized was, for most of those people, they're workforce members, you know, and so we just need to get policies to them. We need to get training and awareness to them, but we don't really have to force them to come into another web app. So what we did was we took those things, policies and security documentation, training and awareness, and we send it to the people via email. So you'll hear me mention this as I go through the demo. I'll talk about how task reminders show up in email, awareness and training and policies all show up in email. For most of the users in an organization, they can actually never log in, never even have a password, and they can still get access to everything we need them to do from a security program perspective. So there you go. Most of our organizations, 80 to 90% of their people are email-only users. They don't actually ever log in. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and log in as a standard user. So I've got this this person, Jasper, I think is our, oh, this is a made-up organization on my demo system. And so Jasper doesn't really exist, but for our purposes, Jasper is a regular user, just somebody who has access to the software. And what will happen is, for standard users, someone like Jasper, the reason that they would have access is because we want them to fill out an assessment, we want them to complete a remediation plan, or we have specific procedures that we need them to complete. And for any of those things, we want them to log into the system. But for emails related to passwords, training, and awareness, we could just send those emails to them. So this is my Jasper's account logging in. It looks like, well, it looks like a web application, I suppose. To the left, we see some security tasks. Right now, Jasper does not have any tasks assigned to him, and there's not really too much to do. So this is Jasper's view when he's not doing anything at all. The one thing I want to point out here is there is a thing you can't see, which is the viewer, there's going to be a risk ribbon. So these are the things you can see. Tasks to the left, documentation in the middle, security awareness to the right, and there would be training here if Jasper had training assigned. We might come back to Jasper in a little bit after we assign some tasks to him, and we'll see how that works. Now I'm going to go ahead and log in as Elaine. I think Elaine is my security officer for this organization. So when I log in as Elaine, I can you can see that what Elaine has is a bunch more tasks. This is a demo account. I assigned some tasks to Elaine a while back and I haven't completed them. What that does is allows me to show what happens when a task becomes late. If a task is late, I'll give you a visual cue that it's late. And then you also get an email that says, hey, you've got an assessment that you need to complete, for instance, or a remediation plan, something to review. So because Elaine is our security officer here, Elaine has a lot more to see. What I'll do is I'll give you a quick look at the kind of key components of Virtual Security Center that are focused on the workforce members. So we'll look at policies, standards, and training and awareness. We'll take a look at that first. So the first thing is policies. If I have policies to acknowledge, they'll actually show up here in my security tasks. There will be a task that says acknowledge policies, and you'll also see them listed here. So if I go and look at the policies, this is where all of our the security policies for the organization reside. So this is probably an important point to mention, that as a tool, we're actually doing a handful of different things. We're actually a GRC tool, a governance, risk, and compliance tool. Big enterprises use tools like Archer to solve this problem. It's basically the risk assessment and compliance tracking piece of it. And Archer costs hundreds of thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands more in consulting work. But what we're doing is we're a GRC tool